Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Let me just have a look on Facebook. Am I live? I am live. There I am. So good to be here Monday morning, and I hope that you've had an awesome weekend. I know that I did. I went to a beautiful friend's wedding in Canberra this weekend, and it was just a stunning weekend. I met my partner's family, or some of my partner's family, and just hung out and did normal relaxing things, which was so nice when I've just moved house and there's boxes everywhere. So today I wanted to talk and reflect on inner and outer conflict. And I want you to take a moment to reflect on how it is that you deal with outside influences and the conflict that can happen from just being on the planet and living in a co-creative world, right? So we have people around us, and even when you get on extremely well with someone, you can have conflict because your guidance is different from when you grew up. You know, the way you were brought up, your conditions were different. Even in the same family, your conditions can be very different. The way you were treated by your parents, the way, you know, you interacted with your, you know, peers in your school, what sort of education you had, the culture that you were brought up in, the society that you were brought up in, the location. All of these things can cause you to be an individual with individual experiences and memories and individual ways of being, ways of behaving, ways of accepting things and not accepting things, and discerning things and judging things and making assessments of different things, right? And so we're just this big glob of you know, physical being that has created an internal awareness of this is what the world is and this is the way I behave in the world, right? And so you can imagine when we're all living on the same planet in you know, same time and space and all of those things, that if you have been brought up to behave one way and someone's behaving a different way that's in conflict with that, even like, for example, even religion, right? I've been brought up this way and you've been brought up this way, and so therefore my beliefs are different to yours, then you can actually find yourself making assessments and judgments about somebody based on primitive information, right? We have to, you know, way back in time, you know, we had to assess whether it was dangerous to go outside and explore. You know, were there lions, were there tigers, were there things that were going to kill us? And so we've got an internal mechanism within us that supports us to assess and judge what our environment's doing and how to react to that environment. And so that part of our body, that part of our system, still has no understanding that we're now in, you know, the 21st century, and here we are. You know, we don't need to worry about assessing, you know, lions and tigers and whether we're going to survive. But that part of our body doesn't recognize that still, and so it's still making assessments. So, you know, the left hand can think, well, the right hand is different, is opposite to me. It doesn't recognize it's part of the same body. My left hand can say, well, you're opposite to me and therefore I'm in conflict with you, and so therefore I'm going to have a problem with you and see you as my enemy, or see you as someone that's external to me that I need to, look at history, that I need to battle and conquer and whatever it might be, right? Or I need to feel powerless in this situation. I need to feel powerless to you because you seem to be the authority in this situation. And so when we're living our life and we've got external stimuli coming in, and it's something that is not of our same mindset or the same, understanding of life, we can have external conflict. We can have this conflict where this doesn't fit with me, this doesn't sit right with me, this isn't the way I behave, this isn't the way I want my world to be. And so really, external conflict is actually an indication of internal conflict. So external conflict can be an indication of internal conflict. So when we start assessing the way things are, and that this is concrete and this is my truth, and my truth is black and white and it's solid and it has to be this way, and it's not the same as your truth and your truth is wrong, then we start having conflict within our internal system, our mind and our physical body. Because our physical body, the stimulus comes in, we start assessing this information and this input as the neural pathways start firing together and memories come up of when this was right or this was wrong or whatever it might be, and we start collecting data from the past to evaluate our present moment. So who's had that experience where something's gone on and you have internal stimuli, information and memories assessing how it used to be, and so therefore this is the way it is now, and then you make a judgment and you step into your reality and the conflict through that judgment and through that assessment, right? It's something that's actually how we're physically built to work, to assess whether there's a lion outside the cave or danger for our family, right? And so it can be a challenge. It can be cause, overwhelm, stress, anger, frustration, all of those lower vibrational emotions that can come to the surface and cause problems within our reality now. When something is outside of our control, it seems to be outside of our control, our body reacts in a way that causes us to retreat and become more isolated and become more separate from our external environment. We start to shut down energetically, and I think I'm going to sneeze. I don't know. It's right on the edge. Sorry, ladies and men who's watching outside of Young Women of Light. And so I think it's past. So one of the things that we need to remember is that we're all living the best possible, the best to our ability, and we've all got a part of the truth. My left hand has a part of the truth and knows itself to be the left hand or not, right? Don't know if my left hand actually knows that it's my left hand. And my right hand knows itself to be different. But both of them are the truth, right? Of this bigger whole, this bigger body that's called Elizabeth, right? Now you can see that in the world. We are actually, we are part of the human race. And we've all got different roles, and we've all got different information. We've all got our own set of instructions that we've come down to experience. But that doesn't mean that my set of information and instructions is any better or worse than your set of instructions. It's just that it's different. So when we can let go of I'm better, worse, whatever it might be, and just see that we are different to one another, and allow someone else to be experiencing their difference the way they choose, and knowing that it's not my truth, that it's not your truth, maybe, and being able to sit in your truth and ground into that without having to justify and attack the other person for having a different truth. Oh my gosh. Can you see that the world could completely shift if we just did that one thing? If we all, loved each other for who we are, knowing that we've all got differences, and that we're all just here experiencing those differences in our own capacity, those things make a huge difference. Just the relief of allowing somebody else to be who they want to be is so liberating. You don't need to agree with what they're doing, but that doesn't mean that they're wrong, right? Now, this is where it gets it can get a little bit convoluted or challenging when your reality can be influenced by somebody else's reality. And there's an external conflict, right? An outer conflict. This is who I choose to be, and I see that this is who you are, and this is who you're behaving as, whether you choose to be that or not. Some people have no realization that they're being controlled and governed by their unconscious, right? But this is who they're being outside of themselves, and I'm reflecting and seeing that. And who they're being is actually causing challenges with who I am and who I'm choosing to express myself as being. When there's an external conflict like that, those things can be really, really challenging if you don't have the emotional intelligence to stop, reflect, and process and discuss things with integrity, with honesty, without making somebody else wrong, but sitting together and saying, hey, this is what I'm seeing and it's actually causing problems in my world. Can we have a discussion about it, right? Can we just work this out? I want you to be able to express yourself as the being that you are at your highest capacity, and I don't want to take that away from you, right? When you can see someone else in their greatness and allow them to be whoever that is, regardless of whether you agree with it or not, but when it starts infiltrating something within you, that you can then sit together and say, hey, this is causing a problem. I want to work this out so that we can find a solution together so that we can bring harmony again into our world. Or if we can't find harmony, if we can't find a solution of, you know, this is who I am, that's who you are, and if we can't find a solution on how to navigate this together, you know, then let's just love and leave each other, or let's you know, choose something different so that there's harmony. I want harmony in my life. I choose harmony. I choose balance. I choose love. I choose to be able to express myself to the highest potential that I choose to experience myself as, right? And in that process, I choose that for everybody else as well. I don't choose that over somebody else's ability or somebody else's experience. I choose to live in my own sovereignty, and I choose to experience other people's sovereignty as well. I'd love for you to put a yes, hallelujah, amen, whatever it might be in the chat, if that is what you choose to, because I honor each person and their individual expression of who they are. And when you can find the solution outside, when you've got an internal conflict, something's going on internal, and you go, you know what, that's not sitting right with me. That is having, you know, this is why, because it's, you know, it's causing problems in my own reality. I'm having challenges with, you know, the way I behave or the way I want to behave. When you can sit in that and then look at it and go, well, wait a minute, is there something that I can personally change myself within me, so that I can come to the party? And, you know, is there conditions, beliefs, emotions, you know, resistance within me that I need to address and look at, so that, you know, is this an opportunity? Is this an opportunity for me to grow? Is this an opportunity for me to grow? That's one of the first things that I ask myself. Is this an opportunity for me to grow? I've got conflict coming in my reality. Why do I have a problem with it? So I look and reflect on my internal or inner conflict first. What's going on inside of me? And is this an opportunity for me to grow? Is there something blocking me, or an old belief system that's causing me to defy this situation and to push back and resist it out of pure old patterns? And if it is, I then get the opportunity to look internally at what that is and release it. You know, like the acknowledgement, in my opinion, is 70, 80, 90% of any sort of healing is the acknowledgement of something. When you can release something, once you acknowledge something, often it releases just from the acknowledgement of it. So when you can really internally look at, okay, is this something that's not working for me because this is an opportunity for growth for me, and I need to look at my own internal system, right? Once you've done that, and that can be a little bit tricky, and that's, you know, in my opinion, sometimes that's when you need a coach. That's when you need a mentor to look behind you. We often can't see ourselves in the frame ourselves because, you know, we've got so many conditions within us that we can often not see what's getting in the way of our own nature. And so this is when, you know, coaching, having a coach, someone that can look at you, intuitively connect, understand, see where you're at, listen to the process and support you in the growth of that is just crucial. It really is. And I didn't know that until, you know, about 3 or 4 years ago. My whole world has changed since I've recognized that coach, you know, getting a coach, someone that you know has that high integrity and can support you in your growth, that makes a huge difference in your world. So when you can see if this is growth, right, grow through it, give yourself that you know, be humble enough to go, you know what, I just saw where I'm in internal conflict, where this is, you know, something that I can change, and I want to share that with you, or whatever it might be, right? Speak your truth. I tell you what, being able to speak your truth is one of the best. Honestly, it's the biggest growth thing that you can ever do. So, first thing, internal conflict. Sort that out. See if it's something that you can grow through. Be aware. Bring awareness to your patterns of conditioning, your belief systems, your limitations, you know, all of those things. Be aware of your own internal system. And then if there's still like something going on outside, you know, there's this conflict that's going on, and you're aware that it's actually causing a disruption within you, that's when you want to share your truth even more and say, hey, you know, I've really sat with this, and I'm having a bit of a challenge with what's going on here. Can we talk about it? And sit down and discuss something with someone, and live in your truth, really hear and listen to their truth, and be able to be completely open to the fact that it could be completely different to you. Okay, that's how you're seeing it from your angle. Okay, I get it. I understand that you know, this hand and that hand are opposite, and they, you know, think that they're different, right? But to be able to let this hand and this hand talk to each other and discuss it, both of them can come into more freedom, more ability, you know, opportunity for growth, more openness to be able to express, this is who I am, more vulnerability, more heart-centered communication. So being able to sit and go, you know what, I don't know how we're going to sort this conflict out. I see your point. This is my point. Have you got any ideas of what we can do to sort this out? Let's discuss this. Let's work this out. And see if you can have that conversation with someone, and hopefully bring some emotional intelligence to the conversation. Now, here's the thing. Not everyone has the intelligence, the emotional intelligence. Some people will listen to that and go, what the F are you talking about? You know, like, are you crazy? Some people are going to think that you're absolutely bonkers, even trying to have a discussion with them about it, right? Some people don't want to hear your side and want to power play with you. Some people want to hold themselves at a higher position than you, and they don't want to see you as equal. And so they're going to hold their belief, they're going to hold their, you know, this is the way it happened, and it was no other way, you know, and they you know, some people will try and manipulate even and coerce. And this is where you've got to make the decision. Who do I choose to be in this situation? Where do I stand now? The external conflict is still an external conflict, because I've done everything I can to come to the party, and this person is still playing the game of whatever it might be, power playing, manipulation, anger, whatever it might be, right? When you've done your part and this is still staying in the same energy, you've got a couple of choices. You can choose to stay in the conflict and go into your identity and separate completely again and make judgments, assessments, and go into the void of total unconsciousness and stay, you know, in the conflict and not resolve it at all. You can choose to completely go, you know what, this isn't working for me, and for me to be who I am means that I want to express myself this way, or I want to experience myself this way. I want freedom, I want balance, I want comfort and joy in my life, and unfortunately that's not working for me with you not, you know, coming to the party and wanting to discuss this. So sorry, but, you know, I can't have you in my world, right? Or you can choose to go, you know what, this is family. For example, family can be a bit challenging with this sort of situation. You know, this is someone that I love dearly, and I choose to have them in my life still, and just deal with the fact that, you know, maybe you compromise in some way. Maybe you decide that you know, okay, I'm going to step down, I'm going to compromise in this situation, and, you know, change the frequency so that it's a different energy. You know, I'm going to make the decision to keep this person in my life, and maybe we don't discuss it again because it brings up too much too much stuff, and I'm going to choose to hold them in their greatness as much as I can, even though we've got this, what I call, bump in the system, right? Personally, I find bumps in the system extremely hard to deal with, and it doesn't sit right with me. I really need to express who I am, because I can feel the frequency in my body is not actually complete, and so therefore it's really challenging. But when you can internally come to a resolution, that bump can, you know, waver out a little bit, and you can find sort of peace and harmony within yourself that's going to help you to hold, you know, hold a different frequency, or hold a different way of being with this particular person, and still have them in your life. Now, hopefully I didn't talk too much of my own language, and some people are going, what on earth is she talking about? And that you got some value out of this. And I would love for you just to reflect. You know, here we are on a Monday morning, and we're doing pause, and I'd love for you to pause for a moment and just reflect on who it is that's in your world, and what is it, what's the relationship that you have with each person. You know, I'm sure that if you're watching this, there's people that are popping into your energy, into your thoughts, that you may not be in complete harmony with. And I'd love for you just to reflect on that. What is it? What is my part in that? You know, stop and just reflect. We've all got an aspect of, you know, this is what I've been bringing to the party. What is it that is my action? What is it that I've done to cause this discrepancy in our energy? Am I being too rigid in my thoughts? Am I stuck in old ways of being, old patterns, old behaviors, old belief systems that are actually causing me not to be open enough to receive new information? And if so, think about it and see if there's something that you can resolve within yourself just to bring some peace into your own body, right? And maybe potentially even an opportunity to express yourself, to create a new channel of communication, open a new door to express, you know, and maybe resolve something so that you're not holding it internally. Because when you're in resistance to anything in your life, it will be holding a vibration within your body that's resisting you being an expansive, creative being, and it will be causing dis-ease in some way in your body. And we can only ever control our own way of being, our own beliefs, our own thoughts, our own frequency. So do some awareness, check in to see, you know, what's going on in my world. What can I do to shift some of this dis-ease in my body? What emotions can I release? What belief systems don't serve me anymore? So I'm just going to give that to you today, just to tune into that and consider, you know, hopefully there may be even some phone calls made and some changes to relationships made. Enjoy your week. For those that know, I do Manifest Your Magic Week every Monday morning. At the moment it's 7:30 Sydney time. If you want the link, please put yes please in the comments below and we will send you the link. So it's not recorded, it's not live streamed anywhere, it's just an intimate group that we sit together and focus on what it is we want to create for the week. We do a little visualization meditation to really be it and experience it now, so that we're setting ourselves up for a beautiful week and we can move forward in creation instead of problem solving our life. So if you're interested, put yes please in the comments and enjoy your week. Take care, everyone.